In the Japanese city of Redacted, officers arrived to a domestic disturbance complaint only to discover a dead corpse outside the home. Fearing the worst, the officers requested that the SWAT team enter the residence, catch the culprit, and save any hostages.
Don't move! Poor girl.
It's alright, sweetie. Don't be scared. Is the bad person still inside?
Going in! There's no one here! What? There's no other way out of here.
Honey, where's the bad person now?
This was the first encounter of the SCP Foundation of SCP-redacted, also known as the Diclonii, which strongly resemble humans. The only obvious difference is the two horn protrusions extending from the temporal bone and parietal bone regions of the skull. Special Containment Procedure. SCP-redacted is Euclid-class humanoid instances are currently contained by the Japanese branch of the SCP Foundation. All instances are to be restrained at all times. All live instances of SCP-redacted are to be contained on Site-redacted within a modified cant or humanoid containment chamber, the walls of which should be in approximately 2 meter thick acid-resistant steel. CCTV equipment is installed in the northeastern and southwestern corners. Furthermore, the SCP is restrained at all times in specialized containment units. This kept people and objects outside of the projected range of their vectors. No personnel should be within 10 meters of the SCP. Containment is to be regularly examined for damages. Movement and activity of any kind is to be noted, and the current Site-redacted Director is to be informed at the earliest possible convenience.
Description: SCP-redacted, also known as the Diclonii, which strongly resemble humans. The only obvious difference is the two horn-like protrusions extending from the skull. Diclonii powers involve the use of invisible arms, known as vectors, that can grasp and impact things as if they are solid, but also become insubstantial and pass through objects. They can slice objects as well, which is how Diclonii usually kill their victims. Vectors usually have a limited range of a few meters, but the length varies among each Diclonius. SCP-redacted was most likely created by the Japan Organisms Improvement and Creation Laboratory, or J.O.I.C.L., an organization which experiments on humans and animals for their own goals. The following footage depicts the actions taken by site security to contain and detain the escaped SCP during a containment breach.
No!
Stay calm. The manual says she can't hurt us for more than 2 meters away.
Yeah, but didn't it say to keep objects away from her too?
Open fire! I'll take this, bitch! Watch out! She's on her way to the emergency exit. Bring the partition down and keep her locked in. Make this bullet count. She isn't gonna give you a second shot.
Copy.
SCP-redacted was able to exit the site due to a security vulnerability during the containment breach. A mobile task force has been assigned by the Foundation to track down and contain the escaped SCP. That is, however, a story for another day. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe for more SCP fanfiction. If you're interested for more, please check Broken Masquerade and GOC Hunting Parasite.